Hey everybody, it's Dawn here with video number 4 in a series of videos that I've done following the shift that occurred at the end of January. There was the close of a 33-year cycle that began roughly with the Harmonic Convergence in August of 1987. I actually did not know those words, Harmonic Convergence, until literally like a year or two ago. However, actually, my very first dramatic awakening experience was, I guess no surprise, on the dates associated with the Harmonic Convergence, which I believe were mid-August of 1987. Very interesting. I'll just briefly tell you my own experience. So I had married my ex-husband, and we moved to a new city where he was going to attend graduate school and where I would actually later attend graduate school. Married him, loved him dearly, but I married him because I was terrified of the encounter I had had with the person that I've always considered to be my divine counterpart. And I had had this encounter that was just like mind-blowingly, it was just scared me to death. And a part of the reason that I quickly married after I graduated from college was to shut down what I had felt and seen with this random encounter with this man, which was actually my second or third encounter with him in my life. But I was terrified. And so we had moved to a new city, and I think we moved in late June or July, and shortly thereafter I had followed up with some job opportunities, and I called the school where we were to inquire about a job, and the person I spoke with, it was another jarring encounter in terms of the phone conversation, and I recognized the voice, and the terror was sort of activated. And then 2 weeks after that, which was early August of that year, I randomly was on the campus where my husband was attending graduate school, and I heard someone say this individual's name, and I looked over, and I suppose no surprise given those experiences that we've all had, it was the same man that I had encountered and the same man I had spoken to on the phone. I just hadn't known his name until that point. So here I am in a new city. Many events would unfold after that, but I'm going to skip that for this video. My point being that by mid-August, just 2 weeks later, there were a number of activation experiences in terms of my larger awakening process. I just remember it so distinctly. So I had a part-time job on the campus that I had gotten, or maybe it was full-time by that point, but in any case, and I was at work, and I just had to leave work, and I knew where to go. It was the oddest thing. I went to near a hill near a water supply source. I knew to go there, and I took the entire afternoon. It was so unusual for me to do this, but I went, and I left work, and I just went myself, and I laid on the grass, and I looked up at the sky, and I had a series of events unfold that afternoon. To say that I had an experience 33 years ago in 1987, August of 1987, and that was around in that mid-August time period. And it was one of the strangest experiences of my life that would then be duplicated many years later, just a few years ago. And it was a very cosmic kind of otherworldly experience that I knew was meant to activate something within me. I kind of intuitively knew that at the time, but I also didn't want anything of that in my life at that point, and so I didn't really allow myself to contemplate what it meant, but my soul knew to be present, and I was. And so recently, after these the end of January events, and in the last week or so, there's been this pattern that I've seen in terms, I've sort of touched on it in some of the other videos about, like integration, and how there's this lopsided energy, or has been, and how our journeys, some portion of those of the original template twin flame collective is intimately connected with the energetic systems or patterns that are at play in the earth and the cosmos as well. And so this whole idea of the 33-year cycle being a closure in 2019 and going into 2020. I need to actually do the math on paper to make sure that's correct, that is 33 years, but I was shown 33 in particular, and the connection with Jesus' ministry, life here, and also some other connections that I may address later that had to do with historical and energetic patterns, for lack of a better way to describe that. So in any case, the information I wanted to share here is that 33-year, it's endings and beginnings, moving into a brand new start. And so just be aware of the cycles in your own journey, and your own journey meaning your life journey, your journey on this sacred partnership path, and your journey in terms of the more soul journey that you are here making. For me, I know that there are threads and connections that pertain to what many would refer to as past lives or parallel lives, and then also threads and connections that refer to or that connect back to more of that cosmic self. And it's all one thing, of course, it's your soul, and we're here for the experience of life, and to come to life and live in full expression, and to understand who we are as a soul as we are doing that. So I think I'm just going to leave it at that. I know I'm rambling a bit in this one, but I wanted to share the idea of the 33-year cycle, to be cognizant, aware of the endings and beginnings. What I'm shown is that the more that we can be in a state of completion in this year of 2019, completion in a way though that's not complete, closed off, but a new kind of completion that is the fulfillment of a promise, and the releasing, the full releasing of a way of seeing our lives, and a way of moving through our lives that is no longer fits, because we are more than who we thought ourselves to be. Hey everybody, it's Dawn. I just wanted to add a little PS to my earlier video, and just thank you all for your patience with these 4 videos that may have seemed a little disjointed, but all of the messages do go together. It's about integration. It's about the imperative of really bringing our focus and attention to a tighter sphere. And it's always been about doing our work, but it's really about committing to doing that joyfully right now. I've been away basically all week, and still waiting for hot water, but that's another story. But happy to be here by the lake. Just it just really brings my heart alive. And in the midst of this chaotic week, and then being here and being able to be in my space and really reflect, it's really clear to me that it's been, there have been moments that were jarring to me this week, and there have also been moments of incredible flow, and there's been a dissonance between those two. So this 33 years that I mentioned, from the Harmonic Convergence to this year of 2019, and it being the completion of a cycle and the beginning of a new one, which also coincides with this last 7 years coming into the next 5 years, possibly 7 years. This last period has been a ramping up, a preparation for this new expanded energetic frequency that's available to us. And so I, for one, will be using the remainder of this month of February to really connect with that more powerfully, and to really consider what it is that I would like to create in this new amazing experience of being here now. So the series, starting with the video I made on the red field green sky, right up until this video, has been a little bit like, what? I never would have imagined ever speaking to this sort of thing in videos, much less doing that on this platform, much less doing it on the topic of sacred partnership. So for those of you who do find some measure of value in what I'm sharing, so much love and gratitude and appreciation. I look forward to what's next. Who knows what that is?